Hey everybody, welcome to Wednesdays at Home. This is our first time to do this together for Colonial Church. My name is Lauren. I'm one of the pastors. This is my wife, Carrie.
Hey guys.
And we just thought the first time we did this for fun, we just reached out to some of our good friends that I get to work with, Tanner, and we get to serve together with Shelby, the Hodges family, and we're just going to have a chat tonight about life. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Yeah, we're making it, man.
Yeah.
We are, what'd you say the other day? She said, coping with COVID.
Yeah.
Coping with COVID. It's got a little ring to it.
That's our hashtag, yeah.
I love it. Well, you guys are musicians, so something, artistic like that. Coping with COVID.
I think we can write a song about that. It'd be awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I think you should write a song. I don't even know if people know one of the songs we did last week. Hey, Easton. Hey, buddy.
It's got dinosaurs.
Oh, he's good then.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you guys know that are watching tonight know that last weekend, one of our favorite songs we get to do and worship a lot, Shelby and Tanner wrote together. What's it called? Healer of My Soul? Is that it?
Yeah. Glad to
We
be
did
able
that
to
one
do
Sunday, right?
You did a good job. That was good. That was the title.
That was good.
Nailed it.
Oh, you're impressed. I know the title of your song.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan. Well, hey, I want to take a little time and just hear how you guys are doing. I know Tanner and I have visited. This is actually good for us as couples to catch up with each other. What's going on with you? Seriously, coping with COVID. What are the biggest challenges going on for you guys? Maybe some bright spots of joy that you're experiencing as well in this crazy time.
You go.
Joy-wise, I mean, it's kind of both joy and slight frustration having my husband home a lot.
It's both good and bad, Shelby?
It depends on the moment, really. And not being able to go out anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's good and bad at the same time. It kind of just depends on our mood and how the children are handling it at that moment.
yeah, it's been weird.
Well,
It's been weird to be home more, and the kids aren't really used to that. I mean, they're waking up and dad's home, and so that's kind of odd. So when I need to slip away and do some work or whatever, it's like there's tons of access to me. And then I feel like I have to say this, I'm getting a taste of stay-at-home moms that stay-at-home moms get,
Yeah.
and they are saints. It's pretty tough.
You told me today, I can't get on your schedule.
I just can't get on Shelby's schedule, man. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Buddy. Dinosaur.
I know you probably speak for a lot of people in that it's fun, it's a joy to be together more, and it's super hard too because you're in each other's space and new habits and rhythms. Everybody I talk to is saying similar things about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think we're the same. We're similar in that we're all home and there's 6 of us, and I'm trying to work, and I'm also trying to manage 4 kids doing school at home, whatever that looks like. And then Lauren is trying to work, and we're all like trying to Zoom chat and with people. So Lauren's in a closet, and
I'm literally in her walk-in closet on a desk with there's dresses and women's shoes all around me. That's my workspace.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
And the girls are in some rooms. Some of us are at kitchen tables. It's just kind of a mess.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's sort of beautiful when you kind of see it all work. And then sometimes we're like, we gotta get out of here, do something. But
absolutely.
Tanner lets me ride in the car sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She lets you ride in the car.
That's it. Yeah. I'll roll the window down, and she just sticks her head out. Lets her wind blow in her hair. No, it's on that is like it's a new challenge for me too, because Shelby's pregnant, and with COVID and all that stuff.
Wait, hold on. Is that like public news now? Like we're going to be sharing this with the whole church. You guys are pregnant with number 3?
Number 3, man.
We can't figure out.
I knew that. I just didn't know we were going to share that publicly. I'm a little excited.
Yeah. With her being pregnant, yeah. So we, if you didn't know, hey, we're pregnant. She's pregnant.
I am not pregnant.
No.
Nobody else is pregnant.
Nobody else.
Just me.
But with her being pregnant, we're hopping in the car to just run and grab a few things from the grocery store that we need. And even if it's an order, right? Like it's an online order, it's like,
You don't want me going.
she's going to just sit in the car and I'll go grab it real fast, which is different because I don't come and get
Target is my safe spot.
Target's her.
And I can't go.
You can't go to Target. And I always bring back the wrong thing. So like if she doesn't pre-order it,
100%.
I'm going to get something totally wrong,
Yeah.
not what I need.
They can speak for all of us men. Yes.
The other day, we brought home like 6 different kinds of bread. None of them were right.
None of them were right.
I don't know.
Hey, I just want to say this too, like to everybody kind of watching. This is real life. This is like kids playing in the background. Ella won't leave us alone. Ella is
she's here.
just being interested in everything going on, and Easton is playing dinosaurs in the background. So like this is our world, and I'm sure there's a lot of you that are swimming in this as well, trying to do what you need to do. Hi. And all at the same time manage the little ones too. So we've got Easton is about to be 3, and Ella is 4, and it's just go around here. Meltdown after meltdown. I want ice cream and we can't go sit in the ice cream shop. That's probably a number 1 struggle right now. So we have discussed with our kids, hey, the world is sick right now, and we need to do our part so that we don't get sick and we don't get other people sick. And that's hard to deal with for them. They don't get it.
What was that quote? What was that quote you were sharing with our staff that Ella said about wanting to go out? And she said, I know the whole world's sick, but.
Oh yeah, she said, I look, Dad, I know that everyone's sick, but it's okay. People get sick sometimes. We just have to follow Jesus. And I'm like, you're right.
Yep.
Like, you're right. And Colonial Kids is teaching you really well.
Thank you, Lori.
But we still can't go behind
this scenario here. So, but that's been interesting.
Well, what else is going on for you guys as far as maybe pull back the curtain a little bit, just emotionally? I know this is hard for all of us. What's hardest about it for you guys?
Yeah.
Really the hardest thing for me is I was pregnant sick for the first few weeks of our pregnancy. We're now 4 months in, and I'm starting to feel better, but I can't go anywhere. Very frustrating for me. Who is somebody that is go all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just stuck at home right now.
Yeah, I joked this morning in staff meeting, and I'm gonna take a risk and say this in front of my wife. But I said that she's kind of like a pregnant bulldog right now, in that I've got all the honeydew list stuff going on right now, like chopping 6 trees down and
I'm
like literally cutting trees down and hauling them off, and going through all the kids' closets and all that stuff, which I love.
Yeah, you do.
But that's I feel like that is that's part of her coping with COVID, is when we can't go out, when we can't be in community with some people that we love. One of the ways that she can feel more comfortable is by, I guess, cleaning house, so to speak, organizing the house better, and
asking you to build me things.
Yeah, changing the scenery, moving furniture around.
Chickens and
yeah, we bought chickens.
You did?
We bought 3 chickens.
Whoops.
Yeah. And that was like, she woke up one day and said, I'm gonna buy some chickens. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Tanner, you are from the country. That's about right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And so we can buy pigs. They're legal.
Pigs are next.
Just a little,
no way.
Little pig.
Oh yeah, love.
On an emotional level, that's what we're doing. She's going a little crazy. No. Shelby, on the real though, Shelby is, I'm not sure how many people are familiar with the Enneagram, or even if you guys are familiar with the Enneagram at all, but on the Enneagram, Shelby's a type 6. And so when all this COVID-19 stuff started coming out and CDC started giving updates and things, Shelby internalizes everything and she searches things like mad. Like all the worst case scenarios, she's putting them in her head and putting a plan in place. I, on the other hand, just start to kind of feel the weight of it all and start to kind of slowly shut down. I'm a little more irritable. And I think that's the hardest part. It's taught us that so far, when you're in this scenario where you can't go out, you can't go hang out with some other friends, process some things with other people, I have to figure out how to be more present with my wife, with my kids. And especially when everything is online, everything that we're being directed to from work, from connection, from entertainment, all that stuff, it's all online. And we have to be creative about how we interact with family. So spending some time in our backyard and some of those things. But it's crazy because even knowing that there's this virus, that is going crazy, we're in this pandemic, you start to feel like I can't even go take a walk around my neighborhood because the air is sick, the air is heavy. And it's not true. It's this feeling.
You feel wrong going out of your house.
Yeah.
Tanner, I want to say this in front of everybody. You and I have become good friends. We get to work together, but a lot of people don't know you like the rest of us who run with you. That's my favorite thing about you. I think it's one of your biggest strengths is you feel what's going on around you. You feel what other people are feeling. You have a tremendous ability to empathize with people. And I love that about you. And then when hard things happen like this, it totally works the other way.
Yeah.
Is you just feel the weight of everybody else's struggles. And I don't want that to change about you. I think that's Tanner, But I know Shelby, I know you see that more than anybody, right? Just him carrying the weight of all this that we're all carrying, but he's kind of in some moments trying to do it by himself probably, right?
Yeah, which is why I forced him to get outside and do country ways, fishing and hunting squirrels off of our fence and that kind of stuff.
No doubt. Hi. Hey, this is Hannah. If anybody doesn't know Hannah, look up there. Get your head up. Hannah's our youngest. She's 10. Are you 10 now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of bright spots, what are some bright spots for you guys? What's some little moments of joy despite COVID and everything about it?
Oh gosh, man. I think for me, it's the kids. So we're having to be a little more creative about how to occupy time. And like I said, Ella is 4, so we're not quite preschool age. Missed the cutoff by 2 days, but it's cool because we're everybody's learning how to teach at home. And Shelby used to work in the school district. She teaches online now through VIP Kid, and so like today even she printed off some of her old curriculum, like some schoolwork, and we've got Ella doing some schoolwork to stimulate her brain and do all those things. Then on the other side of it, last night we did a camp out in the living room. So we set up a tent in the living room, and
that's awesome.
We piled in the tent and we did a camp out, and it was awesome and terrible at the same time. But those are some of the highlights, that we're having to reinvent.
A lot of new memories.
You're having to reinvent some ways.
It's reminding me of the summers that you've taken 2 weeks off at a time, and we create a lot of memories together. We go to the lake a lot. We do stuff here at home, and those are some of our happiest times. So I feel like once we get through this season and then look back later on, we'll say, man, that was so fun, just getting to stay at home and going on walks and taking the kids fishing. And
I think
Yeah.
a blessing for us right now, specifically in Wichita Falls, is the weather has been really good. We've had, with the exception of a storm here or some rain, like yesterday, raining all day.
But for us, it just became movie day.
Yeah,
So.
But the weather has been great, so we got to pile outside and go play, and that's been a big blessing. And hopefully it is for other families too, that can get out, and maybe you can't go hang out with your friends or go to your favorite restaurant. But what I've been noticing in our kind of neighborhood, our street here, is more and more families are walking. And
I've totally noticed that. They're everywhere. Bike riding, walking around together, playing hoop in the driveway.
Yeah.
We've just recently connected with our next door neighbors.
Yeah.
Who are awesome people.
Yeah.
Who I told you yesterday, I'm so happy we're finally getting to know some of these people that we live next to.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you've got your circle that you run in, I think that's a big deal.
You don't reach out to people that are right there beside you.
Right.
You don't know what blessing is next door to you.
So we're playing outside, and the neighbors are, peeking over the fence. Hey, because that's the interaction that you get. And so, and even across the street, we've got a military guy, used to be a retired military guy that lives across the street, and he's just a really cool dude. Him and his wife. His son has moved off, and then are right next door to us. They used to have 3 boys that lived with them. 4 boys that lived with them.
They're grandkids.
And they're their grandkids. And so they actually just recently moved away, and now they're sitting here, kind of empty house and all that stuff. So they're starving for some of that background noise. And
he comes over and brings our kids gifts. And
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So to connect that way, while still socially distancing, that's been a real plus of some of this, is that we're outside of our normal rhythms, and it's a good thing. It causes us, what I've noticed, it just causes us to kind of lift our head and notice other things. So, but what about you guys? What's Carrie? You already kind of mentioned, like, so you're a math teacher, correct?
Right. Yes.
And now you're teaching junior high and elementary.
Right. Yeah. I was actually thinking of some of our friends that even have younger kids. I mean, think of kindergarten, first and second, that are trying to learn online. I'm sure the parents really just have to be in the thick of that while they're probably trying to work, and how hard that must be. But Hannah's our youngest. She's in 4th grade. And so I really am helping her a lot, which is some of the interfaces that she's not familiar with. Bigger kids are pretty good, but still need a little help. And at the same time, managing my own 7 classes every day that I'm sort of teaching. So there's a lot going on, and Lauren's somewhere probably chatting with people. So there's a lot. He's somewhere. He's in the closet.
That's what pastors do. I don't know if any of y'all know that. That's all we do is chat with people.
Yeah. He just gets on Zoom chats all day.
But seriously, there was a moment, either this morning or yesterday morning, where 3 of our 4 kids were on their Chromebooks from school, and Carrie was on a laptop. I think you were talking to your department, your teachers.
Yeah.
And I'm on a Zoom chat with several pastors, and I think our internet just slowed to a crawl.
Yeah.
We're all in the house trying to find a space.
Right.
I think it's a picture into a lot of families, of just trying to share space and get stuff done.
For us right now.
Yeah.
Especially if you're up in the mornings and I'm teaching, and he wants to watch Netflix and I'm working.
Right.
I'm like, get off.
Get off. My computer's telling me it's unstable.
Yeah. But I also feel like, I'm just feeling some of the losses for my students. I teach high school, so just going into an empty building last week, and
hard. I feel for
it was just sad, really sad, just like kind of pulling papers of my students, thinking about the kids that don't know what's going on, prom or graduation, scholarships for testing they were going to take, what summer looks like for them. Just a lot of that is, for a kid, is a lot of loss and uncertainty for them. So Been praying for them a lot.
I think too, I said this to Carrie. I think it's still true. I said this like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I said, I think this is going to be harder on our two oldest, who are 16 and 14, than any of us, because they're just so, it's all about friends, you know, and that's that age where your tribe becomes everything, you know, and now they can't go out. My oldest got her license, you know, just a couple months ago. She can't go anywhere. They can't go hang out with their friends. They can't have people over. We're the mean parents, limiting their access to social media and screen time. And I don't blame them. I think it's going to get harder. I think there's stir craziness coming, some loneliness coming for all of us for sure. But I'm especially just heavy hearted for our teenagers.
It's tough. I think about the seniors. We've got some seniors in Colonial who have been really involved in, you know, with Governor Abbott just making an announcement today, even about school being closed until May 4th.
May 4th,
I just think about senior year and missing out on
all the time.
a big chunk of that. You know, it does break my heart for our seniors, and even we've got some amazing volunteers on our worship team who have some younger kids, and they love school. They love getting to go and be with their friends and all that stuff. And what they're missing out on is just,
no doubt.
It can be devastating. And parents don't really know how to combat that. You know, how do you stabilize or renormalize some things for your kids? I mean, it just, it feels like almost an impossible task.
Trying to recreate that same,
no doubt. I think the financial fear for us, the financial anxiety is maybe still ahead of us. I think we feel more isolated and disconnected than anything. I think the idea of financial struggle for us is maybe down the road a little bit. But I know a lot of people are already there. I mean, Lauren, who's our office administrator, she shared with us today that she's got 2 family members that just got laid off. So I know a lot of folks that are even watching this right now. A lot of folks here in town are already there with tremendous financial stress and uncertainty. And I think we've started to talk about that, but we're a little bit kind of in denial maybe because it hasn't hit us yet. You know, we still have food in the pantry. We still can pay the bills. But man, I know that's on the minds of a lot of people.
A lot of people.
I will say bright spots.
What are y'all's bright spots?
I can't tell you how fun it's been just to be around the kids a little bit more. And we do dinner together most nights. It's something we try to do kind of religiously, if you will. But I think because we've been doing more, I mean, now it's like a couple meals a day. We're around the table and we're laughing, and I'm watching the girls almost even be sweeter to each other than normal.
Kind of enjoying each other in our best days.
I don't know if it's because they're not pulled in with all the stressors from the outside world. I don't know if it's just
they're well rested.
Well, maybe. I don't know if it's the weight of everything else outside, so it's just kind of a safe, fun place to be together. I don't know, but so far that's been one of the bright spots for us, is just a little extra laughter and togetherness. We're big Survivor fans on TV. That's such an old show. I know it's still on. It really is. But we watch it together. 5 of the 6 of us are on the couch laughing and talking, and there's just been several moments like that, and really sweet. So
that's really cool.
Yeah. Hey, I want to share too. I was thinking about this even before we got on. I asked our elders specifically and their wives to share a little bit with us about how they're doing. I thought this would be good to share for you guys to know that are watching, as well as maybe you can relate to some of this. I'll leave out names, but some of our elders, their spouses shared just a general uneasiness about everything. Some fear of losing a business for sure for one of our elders. You mentioned seniors. One of our elders' families, they have a senior, and just really sad about what's graduation going to even look like. Are they even going to have it? A lot of loss there. They talked about a general sadness, just driving around seeing businesses closed down, knowing that a lot of people are struggling, wondering if they're going to get a paycheck.
Yeah.
Boredom from a couple teenagers. One of the elders shared they just have some anxiety for their adult daughter who's a nurse, and just the hours she's putting in and the uniqueness of that role right now.
Right.
The grandson's possible exposure to this because of that. They also shared some really beautiful things. I wanted to pass these on. They said several said, man, we're just enjoying being at home more. We're making the most of it. We're slowing down. We're hanging out as a family. One of them said now that they're both working remotely from home together, they've actually started helping each other with their respective jobs a little bit.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And better understand each other's work. That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
They shared their garden has started. They've cleaned 2 closets and they haven't had any fights yet. So
Ooh, boom.
Fantastic.
That is good.
yeah, just some good stuff they're passing on. So I know people are going through a lot. You guys have shared a lot with us, Shelby, Tanner. What's just 1 or 2 things that come to mind that we can pray for you, the Hodges family, people watching can pray for the Hodges? What's 1 or 2 main things we can pray for y'all?
You go.
I think just patience all around for new way of living
Yeah.
with each other.
That's good.
That's a good word, patience.
Yeah, it's tough. You can't in my bad moments, I'm really, really short, almost for no reason. And the different personalities kind of comes out more, where I'm a clean person, but I wouldn't say that I'm an organized person. Always a clean and very organized person. And so some of those things combat each other. For instance, like when certain things aren't done, she just can't relax. And I'm just kind of wiped out and I just want to go, I don't want to do anything. So I think what she said, just about the patience, but just the communication.
Yeah.
Like just grace, man. Just to be able to know that underlying whatever frustration may come or will come, that it's not about each other. We're fighting this the best way that we can and trying to hold our family together. The other thing I would say too is through all this, it's been really easy to become closed-minded. And what I mean by that is it's really easy to focus on just my family and miss this kind of call, this kind of Christ-like call to see the needs of our neighbors, to care what's going on with them too, to reach out to family members.
Yeah.
I think I take that for granted a lot, that there are family members that love me and support me, and I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget just because I'm so wrapped up in my immediate family's issues.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. And then maybe one more, man. As a husband and as a dad, I'm heightened sense of worry, I guess, just because of pregnancy. And so, man, I would love as much prayer as possible just over protection for Shelby and baby, and being able to let go.
Let me go to Target. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Nope.
Just kidding.
And then, gosh, I don't know. I think it's really easy to. I've got my own rhythms of engaging with God. Shelby has her own rhythms of engaging with God, but we're both together, and those rhythms sometimes don't
Lagging a little bit.
work.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the things that has really hit me this week is I have neglected this time with my father, who I think in my anxiousness, if I would spend more time with him, he would kind of release some of that for me, and vice versa for Shelby as well. So maybe finding that rhythm where we can do the things that we need to do.
Together.
Can't go sit at a coffee shop and read, but I could sit on my back patio,
Right.
So, yeah.
What about y'all? Prayers for y'all.
Those are all actually,
Spot on.
yeah, very much. I mean, I was going to say endurance,
Yeah.
similar to patience. I mean, I feel like we haven't even like hit the peak of this yet. So we have a long way to go. And so even today, Lauren came out of his office closet and was like, I can't take this anymore. And I'm like, we got to get creative here.
Yeah.
How we're going to mix this up a little bit and figure out what that's going to look like while being at home or distanced from people.
Yeah.
Sure.
So just that kind of stir crazy that some of us get a little edgy.
Totally. I'll try to be real and articulate. I feel tense, you know, like definitely feel God's peace that we've talked about as a church, but I feel like in some ways I'm just not relaxing. Like I'm just subconsciously kind of just tweaked it up a little bit, you know, and then that makes me less patient. It makes me respond poorly, you know, when my kids are struggling or when something doesn't go my way, or I'm not as sweet as I should be with Carrie, and I feel like all of us are that way, you know, so it's just compounded. So I feel like you said patience, you said grace. That's my prayer for us is I think it's going to really take God's grace to help us endure this.
Yeah.
And supernaturally overcome just the tension, the difficult circumstances.
Well, and on that, I want to just, I think that's probably something that a lot of people are feeling right now. The same things that used to relieve tension aren't doing it. You know, you can take a deep breath, watch a good movie, read a good book, do all the things that you would have normally done that would have helped you enter into the week better. But by the time you wake up the next morning, the stress, the tension, it's all back.
Yeah.
And so
figuring out new ways to
finding those new rhythms of rest. And you even said, Lauren, you even said in staff meeting, when you're conscious about it, when you maybe are by yourself for a few minutes, you feel that tension and you think, okay, I need to just breathe. And when you breathe and you consciously think about, let your shoulders down, you know, you realize how much you're carrying. And so I just wanted to jump in on that because, man, I think that's, I know that's something I'm facing. When you were saying that, Shelby kind of leaned over and was like, you know, but I do think there are a lot of us in our community, in our church community, that are probably doing the same things. I can't ever just get the rest to go away, you know.
And you spoke to this. I'm shifting into teacher mode for a second. I'm convicted. I need to teach on this because I need to learn on this. It's just the inner life. I think in this season of being quarantined, so to speak, and having a lot more time together and time separated from everybody else, I think we have to kind of relearn or maybe learn for the first time just some new rhythms, some new disciplines of how do we deal with silence and solitude and the inner life and prayer life and digging into the scriptures and being still. Because apart from that, I think we're just going to drift into tension and drift into impatience. And well, hey, let's I want to wrap this up and maybe you can pray us out, but I'm excited, Tanner, about you sharing with us. Hey, Hannah, share with us what we're doing for Easter and maybe how folks can jump on this.
Yeah. So, man, you know, with Easter coming up, it's right around the corner, and I know this isn't the way we all want to celebrate Easter, but we were trying to think about some ways that we can remind ourselves we're part of a really big, awesome, amazing community. And so one of the things we want to ask everyone who would consider Colonial Church their home is maybe just send us a 2 to 5 second video, just a short clip of wherever it is that you watch church online. So if it's in your living room, gathered around your TV, drinking a cup of coffee, if it's you're listening to it as you're doing yard work or whatever it is that you're doing, would you just gather your family and just maybe all of you at one time just say Happy Easter, send us a video of that. We've got a link that we can actually, that you can send those and we can store these videos. what we want to do is we want to compile a video and show that actually on Easter, during our Easter service, to where it's just a good reminder. I think that visual reminder that even though we're separated, man, we are still part of this big collective that is chasing after Jesus, that wants to just celebrate Easter, the risen King who's defeated even more than this pandemic that we're going through. And so I'm excited about just a creative way to remind ourselves that we're connected into this big, large group. So 2 to 5 second video. It doesn't need to be any longer than that. And really just, we want everyone to say the same thing. Happy Easter. You can say your names, your last names if you want to. Like, for instance, Shelby and I, Happy Easter from the Hodges. That would be awesome. We're going to just put as many of this together as possible. And I think it'd just be a great reminder that, oh my gosh, man, we love each other. We're for each other. And even though we have to be confined to our homes and engaged in church and all that, we're still a part of something amazing. And God is not done, and he's doing incredible work in our city. So yeah,
love that simple idea. And to be clear, just because I'm thinking of single folks out there, do it by yourself.
Yeah.
If you sit there with your cat, do it with your cat.
Yeah.
If there's way too many of you like us, 6 people in a family, do it with your whole family. So 2 to 5 seconds, Happy Easter from the Joneses, something like that, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And we had one of our volunteers who went fishing on Sunday morning, took his phone and he's watching live online at the lake.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. Take a selfie of that, send it in. That'd be amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us on our first Wednesday at home. Yeah. Every week's going to be different. It's not going to be just like this next week. We've got some uniquely different ideas of what we're going to do each of the next few Wednesdays. Some of you will think this is incredibly engaging and just want to connect. Some of you could take it or leave it. That's fine. My hope is it's just a midweek touch point for us as a church to come together in another personal way.
Yeah.
But Tanner, why don't you pray for our church and we'll wrap up, man?
Yeah, absolutely. Will you pray with me? Father, we are so grateful, God, even in the middle of this pandemic, in the middle of anxieties and uncertainties, God, that you are the provider, and all of our certainties are replaced by faith in you. All the things we knew we could count on are somehow shifted, and our dependence is solely on you, and we know that you will come through. You have been there for thousands of generations, and you will continue to be there for this generation now and in this moment. And so we just pray over our church community that though we feel divided, though we feel separated, we are still together and we are still gathered in your name. And so we pray, Lord, that you would just bless our community, that you would relieve tensions and anxieties, and Father, that where you need to come through, where our community is beckoning you, God, to come through, we know that you will, Lord, and we just have full and complete trust in you. God, we pray for all those that are uncertain about what their job holds, what their future holds. We know that you have all these things under control, and you're for us. You're for your people, your children, and we can rest and trust in you. And Lord, we just pray that as we are all establishing a new normal, maybe new rhythms, Father, that you would continue just to lead us, and that we would be able to carve out the time to set up these rhythms and engage in spiritual disciplines that help us kind of lean back into your arms and trust that you have it all in control. So, Father, we're grateful for what you're going to do in this time and in your church by scattering us like this. We know that when we come out, I look forward to the celebration when we all get back together again. What an amazing thing that's going to be. And so we trust you, Lord. Be with us in this season. We ask all these things in your heavenly name. And everyone said,
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Hey, thanks for letting us hang out with you, Hodges.
Thanks.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, love you guys a ton.
Yeah.
Not just saying that because everybody's watching us say it. I really do mean that. You guys are awesome.
Appreciate it. It's real. Grateful to be part of this community, man.
Yep. All right, we'll see you guys.
All right. Bye y'all.